Greetings, my friends. Oh, welcome back to my garden. It's been a long time since you've been here. I think it's been a good 6 months. Well, I've been away working on a project, but I'm back, and I got back about a month ago, but I didn't dare show you the garden because there were just way too many weeds that I had to fix before I could even show it to you. In fact, I had to clear away the weeds to see which plants were still doing well. Well, this is what is called a Brassanthe Maikai. And this is an orchid whose seed parents come from Central and South America. The seed parent is a Brassavola nodosa, which is a pure white flower that gives off a kind of a peppery fragrance in the evening because its pollinator is some type of moth or someone who comes out in the evening. And the pollen parent is a Brassanthe borrigiana. And that's kind of a cattleya type flower that ranges in color from purple to magenta to pink. So when you put those two parents together, you never know what the kids are going to look like. And the children of those two parents are known as Brassanthe Maikai. But not all Brassanthe Maikais look alike because no two kids look alike. So each one of them gets a special name. And this one is called Louise. This is Brassanthe Maikai Louise. And it has a leaf that is called a leaf that is terete, meaning it's very thick. It can withstand a lot of sunshine. Now, it does not like direct sun, but if it's faced with direct sun, it can still do well. And the case in point was 1 year ago, this tree, this neighborhood, this orchid was under hurricane floodwaters. When I got here about a week after the hurricane hit, I really watered this plant very well to try and get as much seawater out of it as I could. I did not know whether it was going to live. Well, it not only lived, but it bloomed for a good month last year with no shade canopy whatsoever. All the flowers turned white, totally bleached by the sun. And I thought for sure, it was its last hurrah. But no, look at this. This year, all these wonderful blooms and still more blooms to come. It is just done amazingly well. I am so proud of this orchid. It has been mounted in this tree for, I believe, 16 years. Yeah, 16 years. Done well every single year, including during a hurricane. So, the rest of the garden, about half of it survived the last 6 months. We had a dreadfully hot summer here with little or no rain. This sweet potato vine right there, it can withstand just about anything, and it's become a wonderful ground cover. So I'm just leaving that in place, and I'm planting impatiens, basically just annuals in between. And once I get all the weeding done and all the flowers planted, I've got mulch sitting right there ready to fill in the blanks. And speaking of blanks, there are a few blanks back here. Something funky going on with the sprinkler system that'll have to be attended to. But the main thing is I planted these wonderful Nora Grant Exoras. See how they almost look like hydrangeas or a hortensia? They get these big blooms on them, and that is all year round. That happens. They need sun in order to do that. And the ones in the back that I planted back there, one didn't make it and the other one's half dead. It just doesn't get enough sun. So what does well in places like that is this variegated ginger. So I need a couple more of these gingers to put in that spot over there. And these are almost like a grass. These are not edible ginger. They're just for show. But the beautiful color. I love the variation, the variegated leaves of this. And this is just a giant oyster plant. You almost can't kill them. And I'll fill in some spaces with those. These are chives, an eggplant that made it from last year. And I just planted a jalapeno pepper over there. It's got some blossoms coming. The roses are doing well. Look how pretty. And what's also doing very well is this ground cover that I had planted last year. Now you have to figure 1 year ago, none of this was here. I dug all of this garden out, about 6 inches of dirt, and replaced all the dirt, all the plants, because it was just totally ruined from the hurricane. And so in the process, I was trying plants that I hadn't tried before. And never had a lot of success with roses. Well, now I've got about 10 rose bushes, so maybe a couple of them will do well. And they're doing well. And then planted this Bismarck palm. It's now doubled in size in 1 year. Look at that. I love it, it's beautiful. And underneath I planted this, these are annuals. This is called Dusty Miller. And about half of these are still thriving after a year. So I'm just gonna let them go, see how they do. No need to replace something that's doing well. And right in back of it is this kind of viney ground cover. I never thought that would do that well, especially over the summer. So it's soon just going to fill this entire bed. And that's what I want to happen. See this plant? This is a weed. This is a weed that is so big that I cannot get it out of the ground. I'm gonna need help digging that out. I've got 3 of those going on, various places in the garden. Oh, I have to tell you about this mulch. This is called Flora mulch. I get it at Lowe's. It is made up of ground up melaleuca trees. Now, what is significant about that for Florida is years ago, the melaleuca trees were brought in, I think from Australia, to help with soil erosion. That's where the tea tree oil is extracted from, the melaleuca trees. Well, they do very well in moist soil, they hold the ground, they help with erosion, but they're also invasive, they found out, and they choked out all the good vegetation. So now there's this mad dash wherever a developer finds a patch of land that has melaleuca on it, they are compelled to get rid of the melaleuca. Okay, so hence, they use that melaleuca to make this wonderful mulch. So all the terrible properties for saving erosion are all the good properties for mulch, because it's not going to break down so fast, it's not going to float away because it can hold the moisture, on and on. So, and we're doing a good thing by using the chopped up melaleuca trees for something positive for our garden. So that's why I always buy the Flora mulch. I want to show you a couple orchids over here. This is a dendrobium. It's on its last leg of its bloom. It was full of flowers, but I have it mounted in this plumeria tree. Have some more mounted up here. And they bloom off and on during the year. Now this one is interesting. This is what's called a kiki, K-I-K-I. And that's a Hawaiian word for child. So what has happened on this very old dendrobium cane, which has bloomed and bloomed and bloomed through the years, and it's on its last leg and it's ready to die, and before it dies, what does it do? It creates an offspring. So now what I can do is I can cut this about right here, And I can treat this offshoot, this kiki, that already has a root system. And I can cut that, and I can take this plant and I could mount it again on this tree. I could put it in a basket. You could do any number of things with it. But I'm really into organic, mounting orchids on trees, letting them enjoy their natural environment. But I do have a few in pots. And this one, I love this pot. This was handmade. This is a Brassanthe nodosa. This is the seed parent from that one on the tree over there. And when this blooms, it's going to be an all white flower. And that'll have a wonderful spicy fragrance that it gives off at night. Same thing going on over here. This is, let me see what this is. Whoops. This is a Brassanthe Little Stars. Yeah, I gotta make a new tag for that. This is a white, it's kind of like a Brassanthe nodosa that has been bred back to itself. And here's some right there, some buds forming, and that'll be white. This is a dendrobium that I had mounted on this piece of cypress. And it had already bloomed once, and now it has another spray and more buds that will be opening. I love that, isn't that cool? Look at this dendrobium. This was given to me by a friend. It doesn't have a name tag, but look at all those roots. It loves where it is. Now this is a special pergola system I have here that my husband created for me, and it gives off a misty shower every morning. So these orchids get pampered. Now this pergola used to be filled with orchids, but of course after the hurricane, well, survival of the fittest. Oh, and this, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Let me get you in here. Look at this one's got a new shoot coming right there. See where my finger is? And right up here, it's got buds coming. Now, this is a Prosthecia cochleata, and that is a species. This particular one comes from Mexico, but they do grow wild in the Everglades. And it's called a clamshell orchid, and I can't wait till that blooms. I could show it to you. It is just an extraordinary orchid. Okay, that's a short little tour today. I've got more to show you in future days, like some ground orchids that are coming out here. Yes, these are terrestrial orchids. And out of 8 plants, 6 of them made it. So, okay, good. We're doing good. Just more of that Ixora Grant. Ixora Nora Grant. Nora Grant Ixora. Okay, my friends, take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.